Not gonna lie, recording this session made my blood boil. And I feel like watching this again is gonna make my blood boil even more. Blood boil, bloodborne. Bloodborne tune when? Bloodborne tune? Bloodborne to when? Fear the old blood. Anyways, hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Corrupt the Tarnished. I'm an Elden Ring invader, and this is a Ghostflame Knight. Not the most optimal of builds, but he's a cool build. He's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool lad. His name is Necro Scrub. It's an intelligence build at level 150. I got 50 intelligence, and I got 30 faith, and I got like 22 strength, 20 dex, and then the rest allocated between health, mind, and stamina. And yeah, so it's a cuter build, and it's fun, and it's a very whack stat allocation, because why would you need 30 faith for an intelligence build? I'll tell you why. Because I only used Ghostflame Explosion, but I can't really use it because it has like 0 hyper armor, and it's really situational. But there's very few situations where you need to use it. Like if it had hyper armor, I would have totally used it right here, but I can't because I got 2 people with a heavy thrusting sword and fish just rushing me and just absolutely obliterating me, because this is what I dealt with, just a lot of those kinds of teams, and I'm so tired. I'm so tired of it, dude. I'm ready to pull the plug. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna rant about that now. I'll save that for another video. But yeah, so I mean, since I have 30 points in faith, I'm gonna use that to whatever extent I can. So since we have 30 faith, we could use things like Barrier of Gold. We could use things like Black Flame's Protection. We can use Blessing's Boon. So you got defense and you got health regen on top of an intelligence build. And so a lot of the weapons that I'm using are either magic infused or cold infused. So I get to frostbite people, especially with weapons like Health and Steeple, which is actually a really strong weapon to use with 50 intelligence. I think when you activate the buff using L2, you get like 860 something damage. I could be wrong, with 50 intelligence and 22 strength. So yeah, thematic builds like using death sorceries are fun. It's one thing I was thinking about earlier today is like, how can you make thematic builds like this more try-hardish? The thing is, do I want to be a try-hard? Do I want to be a G9 in Stielovsky? Or do I just want to continue to be fun and cute with fun thematic builds? Is there an in-between? That I do not know. I think there might be an in-between, but I mean, when you're on PC, you gotta be a try-hard, or you're just gonna die all the time when you're being cute, because I don't have the best internet, so I'm not the one who's laggy. Maybe I am on the other dude's end, but they're always laggy. So I feel like invasions go a lot longer than what they should be, simply because of latency issues. Like it takes forever for me to kill people because of latency. I can't roll catch for the life of me. Some days are better, some days are worse. And yesterday, when I recorded this, I don't know when you guys will see this video, but yesterday for me, it was absolutely terrible. And like, I've never been so mad at a video game before. Sure, I've had my days in Call of Duty where I would rage and be like, oh my gosh, how did he do that? How is he so good? But here's the thing, like, I know I'm good at this game. I know I'm good at PvP, but since there is strength in numbers, you could be an absolute terrible player at PvP and you can still win, because you're a 3-man team going against one bad red man. You can have the most stupid of builds and still win, simply because you got numbers on your side. So, I don't know. The thing is, like, what I'm trying to gaslight myself into thinking is that, sure, you're never gonna have the advantage. Well, never is an overstatement. There are very few chances that you will have the advantage. Like, having 2 big crows on my side is an advantage, sure, but when it comes to like 99% of all the other invasions, you're not gonna have a lot of advantageous moments. And so I feel like FromSoft and Miyazaki is completely intentional with this being the state of PvP. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope that, you know, the broken state of PvP right now is unintentional, especially for PC. I really hope it's unintentional, and I really hope to see some fixes when the DLC launches. I'm not sure if that will come, so I'm just gaslighting myself into thinking it's gonna be what it's gonna be, and I'm just gonna have to accept it. So I'm trying to get over the mindset of like, oh, I have to win, because that's just my competitive nature as a person, is that I have to win all the time. And so I saw this on Reddit earlier today. Yes, I am a Redditor, but no, I don't be complaining about things on Reddit. I was reading the perspective of another player. It's like, you don't have to go for the win all the time. Like, the point of being an invader is to just excuse me, Spring Bloom is absolutely messing me up right now. The point of being an invader is not to win. Sure, if you want to win, try your best, but it's to be the biggest disruption to the host's gameplay that you can possibly be. So, you know, draining them of their Estus, and they go into a boss fight unprepared because you took out some of their summons beforehand. Like, I'm trying to gaslight myself into thinking, oh, I don't have to win all the time. As long as I mess up the host's playthrough, then it's fine. But the thing is, it's so easy as a host to just walk back to the side of grace that you were last at and just continue the game like normal. So then that would just be like, why would I need to adopt that mindset? So I don't know, I'm having a hard time with it at the moment, but I'll have to cope. Yeah, Explosive Ghostflame, it's situational, but the situations are few, unfortunately. So I replaced Explosive Ghostflame with my beloved Waves of Darkness, which is always fun to use. So enough of my rant, I'll save that for another video. Yeah, let's talk about the build a little bit. So it's an intelligence build. I got 50 intelligence, so I can use a lot of different magic infused weapons, but I'm mostly using like Health and Steeple. What else do I got? The Death Ritual Spear, which is just the L2 machine, and just a bunch of other magic and cold infused weapons. I know the Death's Poker is on that list too. It's not, I don't know. Personally, I just like Health and Steeple. It does a ton more damage compared to Death's Poker. I do like the Ash of War on that though. But yeah, so a lot of magic and cold infused weapons, and then I got some support incantations as well that I talked about earlier that are good for, like, you know, defense and then health regen. And then I got some offensive spells like Ancient Death Rancor, and then Explosive Ghostflame, and then Tibia's Summons. Tibia's Summons is absolutely useless, and I'll say this again because I said it in the last video, it's absolutely useless. More useless than where a lot of my tax-paying money is going to in the country that I live in, the United States of America. And I do not like where all my tax-paying money is going to. It's more like Tibia's Summon is more useless than that. Like, literally all I could do with that spell is do 177 damage to that one player right there. That's the only good use I gotten out of it this entire time trying to use it. And so I'm never picking up that spell again. I'm never using anything like that. And then Ancient Death Rancor, I don't use it as like my main source of damage because I'm only rocking with 15 FP. So I use it kind of just as like a get off me button a little bit, because since it's a slow traveling projectile, or it has multiple imagine dying to a commoner throwing a firebomb at you in Stormvale Castle. Couldn't be me. Since Ancient Death Rancor is multiple slow traveling projectiles, I use it as like a get off me kind of thing. I'll use it if there's teams being too close to each other, then I'll just use it directed towards one, usually the host. So the host runs away and then I can focus on the other two phantoms. It's just more of like zoning. Sometimes you could get damage off of it, but the damage is very lackluster. I'm sad to say that like the whole death sorcery thing is very lackluster, and just very underwhelming. But I don't know, I just wanted to do cool, fun, thematic builds while, you know, trying to have quote-unquote fun with invading. But since I have bad internet at home, and since Steam likes to add on a few more milliseconds of latency to the servers, or however matchmaking works, I have to struggle. I have to struggle like a madman. And like, yeah, so if any other PC players are out there struggling with the same thing, like, do let me know. I would like to not be alone in this battle against latency. Speaking of latency, here we are at Liurnia of the Lakes with two gankers. They were kind of honest, not using like too annoying of builds. Like, their builds were unique. Like, this guy was power stancing axes, which I don't see a lot, so respect to him. And then the other guy was just like a good old power stance katana lad. I don't know if it was a Moonveil or maybe not. I know it was like one of them was lightning infused or whatever. So some pretty honest builds. So I'll give them that. But the only problem with this with this invasion was latency. You'll see how skippy it is. Just my gameplay in general. I don't know if that's because my PC isn't really built for recording content and playing online at the same time. I don't know if I skip because of lag itself. I'm not really sure. But you'll see how, you know, skippy the game can be. And it sucks having to deal with that. I don't know why I have to deal with that. I see some other people play on PC on YouTube, and they seem to be doing just fine, other than like latency and phantom hits all the time. But like, I feel like I have the worst of it. Like, I believe like the game just ultimately hates me. But it is what it is, and I'm going to continue to make content for as long as I can until I officially pull the plug. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen once the DLC drops. I don't know what content or like how often I'll be able to spit out content. I'm going to start uploading on Mondays and Fridays instead of every 3 days, just so you could get like 2 videos a week, and that's like 4 videos a month. It just seems a little bit easier that way rather than doing like every 3 days, because like life is starting to pick up a little bit, so to post as consistently as I was is a little bit more difficult now, because like I'm kind of behind on schedule. Sure, you'll be seeing this in like right before mid-May, but what day is it? It's April 30th. My birthday's tomorrow, and you guys are gonna see, or maybe you have seen, a birthday video, because that birthday video will be coming out before this video is coming out, which is weird to think about. So yeah, so I'm kind of on the threshold right here, but I'll be trying the best I can to just make builds and make content. So I have I'm gonna do a Bloodhound Knight cosplay that will be coming up next, and then I have a level 40 Saint Trina sword build. So a little bit of a sleepy time build, and then what else? I got like a strength intelligence build. Then I'm gonna do like I'm just doing like an arcane build, just a bunch of bleed weapons, and then maybe I'll do like a dishonest dragon build, just all dragon communion spells, where whatever the arcane dragon spells are. Cause is the lightning spells like the dragon bolt? I don't know. Like, see, look at that. Look how skippy he is, and look how skippy he is. Like, these guys should just name themselves Skippy and Skippy. Skippy number 1 and Skippy number 2. So, to usually counteract high latent players, I'll use Storm Stomp on the Omen's Cleaver, because the R2 comes out really quick on the Omen's Cleaver, excuse me. And especially when you use Storm Stomp, I know that's kind of cheap. Like, it's good burst damage right there, because it's a guaranteed hit. But like, one of these guys like completely just like lagged out of the Storm Stomp, and it was I was like, what the heck, man? I was like, I'm glad I don't do live commentary when I'm recording these videos, because if I were to do live commentary, I'm sure y'all would just click away because of like how much I rage because of what I have to deal with in regards to like latency and lag and all that stuff. So, yeah. That's why I do the post recording commentary on YouTube. And see, like, look at that burst damage right there. So amazing. Excuse me. Allergies are so bad today. Um, I had to be a little bit patient because one thing, yeah, sure. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm trying to get rid of the mindset of like, oh, I have to win or whatever. I still kind of hold on to that mindset. Like sometimes I'll take 20 minutes to do an invasion because I want to win. I'll be petty and want to win simply because like I need that satisfaction of winning. Also, since we have 30 faith, might as well use the winged scythe. And I know this guy was running back to go summon his friend again. And I was like, oh hell no, dude. I cannot let you summon your friend again. After all the hell I've gone through with the lagginess that both you and your friend have given me or whatever, I cannot let you heal. And I cannot let this fight prolong. So I had to bust out the Moon Veil, which is I'm probably just or another build. I saw this from a Drunk Souls video. I'm probably gonna make like the most insufferable build ever, and just do like Moon Veil and Rivers of Blood and a bunch of sorceries. The shitter build. And I know I'm trying to cuss less, but there's no other way to describe it other than that. And take that into invasions and see how that performs. So, yeah. Sometimes you just need to bust out the Moon Veil. So yeah, here we are back at the Academy of Raya Lucaria with that first team that absolutely just like demolished me. Luckily, I had a little bit of extra time to recuperate, and I had to take out the Waves of Darkness on them and seek my revenge, which I was fortunate enough to receive. So yeah, Waves of Darkness. I just felt like including that revenge here, and I'm tired of dealing with ganks like this in small rooms like this. Like, go somewhere else away from me forever. Goodbye. And that's the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one, and have fun doing whatever you're going to do after you're done watching this video, which is right about now. Right about now. Right about now.